Okay, the next thing that we're going to cover is music, which a lot of people have been asking about. Now, I have been recommending and using the Amazon Cloud Player for a long time. I've uploaded thousands of songs that I had on my computer. It's all stored for free on the cloud. It's accessible to me on the Kindle Fire, on my Evo, which is my cell phone, another Android device, on my desktop on my computer. So it's all stored there. So I don't have to take up all of the space on the computer or my devices, and I can stream it directly from the cloud, or I can directly download it. So if I were to go into, we'll bring up, let's say, Adele. This button here allows you to directly download it onto the device itself if you're going to be using it for offline listening, if you're going to be on a plane or someplace where you're not going to have access to Wi-Fi, or you can just simply directly stream it. And again, you have the volume here. Probably not the most rocking song at the moment. And of course, you're going to have the album art. You'll have a number of different options in terms of other songs that are available on that album. Now, in terms of saved on the device, I don't have any saved on my device because there's no reason to, simply because I have everything on the cloud. And all this is accessible to me. Now, a lot of people have asked questions about transferring music from iTunes. Depends upon when you bought the music from iTunes. iTunes used to use a proprietary format for their music files. They've recently learned the error of their ways and have a DRM-free version of their music. So you are able to actually use the Amazon uploader, which will search your entire computer, grab all of the songs that it's able to upload, and upload it to the cloud. Now, anything that you upload directly yourself is going to take up memory. Amazon gives you 5 gigabytes for free. And then beyond that, you can pay basically $1 per gig. I currently have an unlimited plan, which was originally 20 gigs, which is plenty to hold all of my music. You'll see all of the album art starts to load. Now, as it relates to purchasing music, that's actually quite easy, very similar to the bookstore and the magazine store, is you have music that is being recommended or that Amazon has a deal on for that day. You'll find that a lot of the music is actually a lot cheaper than on iTunes. They have over 100 albums per month that are only $5 a piece. You can go through albums that are recommended for me based upon previous purchases. And then, of course, they'll have other options in terms of bestsellers. If you wanted to look at other music that is available that other folks are purchasing, best-selling songs, and so forth. So new releases, you can search by genre. So basically, Amazon MP3 is a great way to find music. If you purchase any music through Amazon MP3, it'll actually save it to the cloud for free. It does not take up any memory at all. And then, of course, that music is always accessible to you. If you want to download it and send MP3s to a friend or a family member, or put it in Dropbox because you want to share some music, that music is yours. You can use it anytime in any way that you want to. There is no limitation to how many times you can download the MP3s, but it stays perpetually stored in the cloud, which is very appealing to me, to have all of my music in one place. But if I go to a friend's house and I want to share some music with them, I can just simply download it directly to their computer, and now they can have that music, but it still stays stored in the cloud. It brings me back to my library. Again, very snappy. Of course, you can accelerate by going through letters if you want to find by artist or albums or songs, or you can create playlists. Now, the big thing that everybody's been waiting for is videos. So you actually click on video. Now, if you are a Prime member, which, as I mentioned, when you receive the Fire, Amazon gives you 30 free days of Prime membership, which includes a discounted next-day shipping as well as the free 2-day shipping, but it also gives you access to Prime Instant Videos. Now, of course, you can get movies the day that they're released on DVD, but you do have to rent them. For example, Super 8 is only $3.99, and then, of course, there's other recommendations that are available here. And then, of course, you've got the Prime Instant Videos. Here's a personal favorite of mine, Arrested Development. These are all free. So now you have all 3 seasons of Arrested Development, a highly underrated show, which thankfully is coming back. And in fact, Netflix is going to be developing the new season. But all of these episodes are all completely free for you to watch. The other thing that I want to mention, too, as it relates to the videos, is that it uses the Whisper Sync technology. Now, what that is it basically syncs everything in the background. So if I start to watch this show, it automatically, by the way, defaults. You can play from the beginning or resume. I had been watching it previously. As I mentioned, I'm a fan of the show, so I'll resume. It automatically defaults to portrait mode or landscape. Excuse me, landscape is correct. As you can see, it streams very quickly. There's no stuttering. You can adjust the volume. So as you can see from the video, it's nice and clear. But talking about the WhisperSync technology is if I'm watching this on the Fire and I go home and I turn on my Amazon On-Demand enabled device, whether it's a TiVo or a Roku device, it'll actually pick up exactly where I left off on the Fire. And if I watch it on an Amazon enabled device at home and I start watching it again, let's say I'm watching the Walking Dead on an Amazon enabled device like my Roku, and then I leave, I go upstairs, I'm going to finish off the episode in bed, so to speak, with my headphones on, that'll pick up exactly where I left off on the device. So that's actually really cool. It does the same thing with books. Makes it a lot easier for folks. Now, another thing relating to video is you also have Hulu enabled. Obviously, this is a pay service, so that's something that I think it's $7.99 a month, but it gives you access to television shows as well as movies. So let's say, for instance, we'll just go ahead and hit Stephen Colbert. This, of course, offers limited commercials, but as you can see, it loads very, very quickly. It's very clear. There's not a lot of stuttering or anything along those lines. And then lastly, for those who are Netflix subscribers, which I'm both, if I hit on Netflix, it'll load my instant queue. Let's say I was watching, oh, am I not hitting it right? There we go. Again, loads in landscape mode. And then, of course, you have to adjust the volume. Oh. Not really sure why that one was in my queue. It's actually kind of a funny movie. Netflix actually has had some problems with some of their streaming, so I wouldn't attribute that to the Fire, because you saw with Hulu and Amazon Video that it was very clear, but Netflix doesn't seem to buffer quickly enough before it starts to stream the video. Now, the last thing, a lot of people also ask about offline viewing. If you're going to be on a airplane or someplace where you're not going to have Wi-Fi, you are able to actually purchase movies through Amazon, download it to the device, and then you can watch it offline. And then when you come back from your trip, you can actually delete it from the device. It'll store it to the cloud, and you can access that movie anytime you want in the future. So if, let's say, one of my personal favorites, High Fidelity with John Cusack, I can go purchase it in the video store for Amazon On Demand. And then if I were to buy it, which here there's more purchase options. So I can do a 48-hour rental. Right now they're currently only renting Harry Potter. Not really sure why it has 2.5 stars. I'm going to have to question the rating system. But you are able to actually purchase the movie and then store it on the device internally on the memory, and then when you get back, delete it from the device, but it is still available to you, and you can re-download it as many times as you want in the future. The next thing on the silo is the docks. Now, I actually haven't been using this other than the Kindle Fire user manual, but one of the things that you can do is actually set up a Kindle email address, which Kindle already does. So let's say, for instance, mine is dana@kindle.com. I'll probably cover that in a future tutorial, but you can email documents, PDFs, Word documents, etc. There is actually an Office app on here that allows you to view Excel documents and Word documents, PDFs, but the basic one that comes on the device actually does not allow you to edit those documents. If you want to do that, there's other apps that are available like Quick Office Pro that you do pay for, but do allow you to actually edit documents if you're going to be using it for productivity or business reasons. But what you can do is actually you have to go into Manage Your Kindle and actually authorize emails. So if I wanted to send from dana@stimulatedboredom.com, I would go in where I manage my Kindle, actually set up that email as an authorized email that's allowed to send me documents, and then as soon as I send myself a document to my dana@kindle.com address, it's available in my docs immediately for me to download and view. But like I said, that'll take a little bit more time, so I'll cover that in a future tutorial. Moving on to apps. As I mentioned before, you guys have already seen this, the cloud and the device. So if I go into the store, the Amazon App Store is different from Android's marketplace. Android's market is not currently on the Kindle Fire. The reason for that is, and this is very Apple of Amazon to do, but they are only allowing apps in their app store that are optimized for the Kindle Fire. So they won't allow any apps that are meant for a cell phone that just won't look good on the Fire, and that's also something that Apple does as well. But you'll see here it's organized quite well: top paid apps, top free apps. Then of course you can scroll through new, games, entertainment, lifestyle, news and weather if you want to refine your search a little bit. And then every single day they give you a free app that you can download. This one apparently is a game. It's normally $1.99. If I were to grab it today, it would be free. I would just hit free.